Connor and Caitlin are very fast engines who love to have races as they take passengers back and forth from the mainland. On Sodor, there are lots of enthusiasts. Enthusiasts come from the mainland to take pictures of the engines. Some can take pictures near the crossings, stations, and bridges. They enjoy taking pictures of the engines. But sometimes they can break the Sodor railway rules, and which causes problems for Sartopamhat and the other engines. One day, Connor and Caitlin arrived together at the station. Sartopamhat was there. "Good morning, Connor and Caitlin. I have a very special job for you two. You have a very busy day today. There will be lots of visitors from the mainland, and they will be arriving at Brandon Docks. You will pick them up and give them a tour around the island of Sodor. Be right on time and be very careful." "Yes, sir." "You can count on us, sir." Connor and Caitlin were very happy to be given this job. Meanwhile, Thomas was working on his branch line with Annie and Clarabelle. But then there was trouble. "Cinders and ashes!" cried Thomas. He slammed on his brakes just in time. Not again, Thomas. This has been happening too much lately on this branch line." "I know, Toby. These enthusiasts don't know how to learn safety. Every station I stop, they're always on my track. I'm gonna have a word with Sir Topham Hatt about it." Thomas enjoyed working on this branch line with Annie and Clarabelle, but he gets annoyed with the enthusiasts on the tracks. Thomas hated when they break the Sodor rules. But Thomas knows that he's not the only one. Engines as well that has to have problems with the enthusiast. Connor and Caitlin were at Brandon Docks, picking up visitors from the mainland. They were both very excited to give them a tour around the island of Sodor. The visitors got into Connor and Caitlin's coaches, and they were ready to go. Connor and Caitlin stopped at Nafford Station. The visitors thought the Nafford Station looked grand. Thomas was there as well. "Oh, Connor and Caitlin, you two look very happy." "That's because we're giving visitors a tour around the island of Sodor." "That's great, but you two better be careful if I were you." "Why?" said Caitlin. "There are lots of enthusiasts on the island of Sodor. They always break the railway safety rules. I mean, I don't mind being taken pictured by them. I don't mind being in the book either. It's just they always break the railway safety rule, they always get on my track, and I always have to stop. Anyone can get hurt these days, you know. This is why I get cross every time I see them. Sir Topham Hatt warns them, but they still ignore it. So that's why you two better be careful today. No worries, Thomas, said Connor. We're always careful. But Thomas wasn't sure. Meanwhile, Butch, the breakdown vehicle, was heading back to the Sodor Search and Rescue Center when he noticed the enthusiasts were near the tracks. Butch honked his horn at the enthusiasts and told them to get away from the tracks. But they didn't listen to Butch. Butch was getting cross and then honked his horn again. But then there was trouble. Butch can hear Connor and Caitlin's whistle. They were coming towards them. Get off the tracks! Get off the tracks! Cried Butch. But they still didn't listen. But luckily, Connor and Caitlin noticed the enthusiasts were near the tracks. Stop, Caitlin! Stop! Connor and Caitlin had stopped just in time. The visitors were very cross at the enthusiasts and saying what a bad railway it is. Once Sir Topham had heard about it, he came as soon as possible. Sir Topham Hatt was not happy and scolded at the enthusiasts. And to make matters worse, the engines were held up because of this. Ah, come on, what's the holdup? It's these silly enthusiasts again. They're making us causing confusion and delay. After Sir Topham Hatt's scolding, Sir Topham Hatt told the enthusiasts to stand clear for the engines to pass, and Connor and Caitlin were on their way again. But they were a bit worried because they're running late. Connor and Caitlin were worried that Sir Topham Hatt might be cross with them. He was, but not with Connor and Caitlin. This was not your fault, you two. I'm just so annoyed with these enthusiasts breaking the rules. I am very proud of you two stopping just in time before anyone got hurt. You two are really useful engines. Thank you, sir, said Connor and Caitlin. The visitors apologized to Connor and Caitlin for saying it was a bad railway. The visitors knew that Connor and Caitlin were both really useful engines.